Coward. That's what two of AOC's constituents actually called her. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Representativa Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez, Democrata, from the 14th District of New York, on Wednesday, October 12th, called a live town hall event to celebrate, and I quote, legislative victories and opportunities for constituents, close quote. But not only did this event draw the lightest crowd for venue size of any Democratic campaign event in recent memory, and that's saying a lot, but also, and much more serious, the few constituents who did show up heckled her in a display worthy of a political comedy. Before I get deep into it, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, including this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which depicts the president pointing to an explosion in the background and saying, "I did that." Well, Joe Biden didn't do it this time. AOC did it. And what makes it an unforced error on her part is she did it where her own opponent could see her do it. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do. Okay. Reportage on this campaign disaster comes from the Gateway Pundit, the Western Journal, the Blaze, the Main Wire, that's Maine as in state of, Liberty Bugle, BizPac Review, and Independent Journal Review. An internet engine search at 5 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday, October 13th, disclosed no legacy media interest apart from Fox News. No. The full meeting took 1 hour and 45 minutes. I have a link in the description to her full-length video and also to her latest tweet featuring more video. Now, her video has the camera only on AOC. Now, right away, that tells you the kind of vain person she is. Other video, not on AOC's channel, shows that very sparse attendance. The Liberty Bugle channel, in a video of their own, and I have a link to that in the description, estimated the attendance at 20 or 30. 20 or 30! And when I looked at that footage, I definitely had to agree. Now, Tina Forte, AOC's Republican challenger, must have had somebody on the scene just to film that low attendance. I have links in the description to 3 tweets on her account showing the empty seats and a campaign sign that reads #OustAOC, followed by Tina Forte's name. AOC ignored the banner. Now that's also telling. Why didn't anyone even raise a voice to ask the one carrying that poster to leave? Instead, no one paid that banner one bit of attention. AOC continued to deliver her prepared speech in a drone that might have put people to sleep. But 49 minutes into the presentation, that meeting turned ugly with a capital U. Like how ugly? I'll tell you how ugly. Ranting and raving and screaming at the top of lungs ugly. Settle in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you the blow-by-blow. Figurative, of course. 2 activists, each identifying himself as a former supporter of AOC, stood up and shouted her down. In the middle of her presentation of legislative victories, one man shouts, and I quote, "Congresswoman, none of this matters if there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard has left the Democratic Party because they are war hawks." And that's when another man gets up and points to the first speaker and shouts, "He's right," or something of the kind. The first heckler is just winding up. He says, "Okay, you originally voted You ran as an outsider, yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a third nuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives. Close quote. Then the second speaker, the one who shouted, "He's right," stands up right away to put in his own 2 cents. Quote, "There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb. You voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis." His word, not mine. "You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization?" He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing. Tulsi Gabbard has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the very thing you sought to fight against. That's what you've become. You are the establishment, and you are the reason why everybody will end up in a nuclear war, unless you choose to stand up right now and denounce the Democratic Party. Will you do that? At this juncture, he draws a smattering of applause from the 20 or 30 attendees. Well, that makes him bolder, so he says, yes or no. And the whole time this is happening, AOC is just standing there where she is, microphone in hand, on her left foot, while she crooks her right foot to rest, right knee to rest her right foot. Before I tell you what happens next, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You're not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Now, whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities that company provides, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com. Learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. AOC standing on one foot, resting the other, holding their mic as if she doesn't know what to do with it. And then she asked something that I couldn't quite catch, and the second heckler said, yes, simple. Are you going to stop nuclear war? Yes or no? Then in response to something else she says, he shouts back, there is no line, because this is, well, I'm going to keep it family friendly. Let's just say that's a barnyard term. And then he continues, none of this matters if we're all dead. None of it. You know that. That's as far as I can determine while reviewing both videos. I think that's when AOC actually says that she didn't come to that meeting to take up a question like that. So he says back, quote, then let's take it up right now, because this is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters right now. We could be in a nuclear war at any minute, and you continue to fund it. That's what's going on. Well, unquote. And again, she protests that, she suggests that why don't they take the matter up as the last subject of the evening? That does not satisfy. So he asks, why not right now? And then she says something that will vindicate every judgment you have ever made about her judgment or the lack of it. She says he's being rude to everyone else around him. Now wrap your minds around this. AOC, who, in the context of protests against the Supreme Court majority and Dobbs versus Jackson Women's, said that the whole point of protesting is to make the other person feel uncomfortable. And now she's actually telling that guy that he's being rude? What do you think he says back to that? I quote, you're the liar here. Nobody has held you accountable. That's what's happening. And it is time for you to stand up and realize that what you have been saying has been lies. Let your conscience come through for once, unquote. That's when an event organizer, acting like a marshal, moves in to show him the door. No violence, and the video cuts off right there. And all this is in the Liberty Bugle video. But I also have links to tweets that both these hecklers left, one from each. Anyway, the event continues with AOC delivering the rest of her prepared remarks in that same soporific drone, as if nothing had happened. 3 years ago, Representative Nancy Pelosi from California, the Speaker of the House, quipped that a water glass labeled D could win in AOC's district. I have a link in the description to a tweet from a man named Ryan Saavedra recording that moment. Well, today, to paraphrase the Western Journal, novelty has given way to disgust. That explains the very sparse attendance, but it does not explain the abject animal fear that those two activists expressed. That is something new. And it does come honestly. AOC did vote for every Ukraine aid package that Congress has taken up. I have a link in the description to a tweet by AOC boasting of voting for a debt relief package for Ukraine. This, while Vladimir Putin asked his fellow Russians whether they want American woke values in their country, and he answers, "Nyet." And people in this country remember that Putin commands an arsenal of nuclear warheads second to none. Furthermore, he can deliver them at 5 or 6 times the speed of sound, which means virtually silently. And thanks to the virus that shall remain nameless, vaccine mandates that still apply to the military, and sudden adult death syndrome that is striking a lot of our young men and women in uniform, the American military is seriously under strain. So is the Chinese military, for that matter, and for the same reasons. But the Russian Army, Navy, Naval Infantry, which is what they call their Marines, and Air Force, didn't take the vaccine. They took other measures to beef up their natural immunity. So that means that they have many more armed effectives, and effective for effective, theirs is the most powerful military in the world. That is the bear whom AOC is pleased to poke. And now her constituents are afraid. They not only want her to cease and desist, they demand that she tell this White House to cease and desist. As Tulsi Gabbard observed, the Democratic Party was the anti-war party when Russia called herself Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Now they are the pro-war party. Again, as Gabbard observes, and as Donald J. Trump observes too. AOC has a problem. Her constituents know it too. And they also know that Vladimir Putin just possibly has a hypersonic missile labeled Novaya York or something of the kind. Perhaps they remember the ending of the movie Failsafe, when President Henry Fonda orders General Dan O'Herlihy to drop 2 nuclear bombs on New York to appease the Russians after a rogue American jet bomber has just taken out Moscow. Or Dr. Strangelove, in which Peter Sellers actually says, I kid you not, Mein Führer, I can Volk! And then hundreds of 100-megaton bombs with cobalt and thorium alloy jackets detonate as Vera Lynn sings We'll Meet Again. I have links in the description to movie clips of the endings of both those films, with apologies to their respective studios, producers, directors, cast. I'll let you decide who has the more gripping ending. Sidney Lumet with Failsafe or Stanley Kubrick with Dr. Strangelove. Now don't tell me you've never heard of these movies, because I know you have. They are cult classics. I'll lay you 100 to 8 that AOC's constituents are playing those movies over and over again while they can be sure they're still fiction. Well, under the circumstances, I absolutely, positively cannot blame those 2 activists for questioning the consistency, if not the sanity, of their representative in Congress, or whether she's representing anyone in her district. Clearly, they know that government largesse and new monetary theory mean nothing in the face of nuclear war. To them, Republicans like Tina Forte must reach out. And right now, with midterms coming up, which is probably why she sent that person with the poster. Link in the description to the article, to the full-length town hall video from AOC's YouTube channel, to AOC's tweet about her town hall, to Tina Forte's 3 tweets, to the segment on the Liberty Bugle channel showing and telling what those 2 hecklers said, to the 2 hecklers' tweets, to Nancy Pelosi saying a water glass with a D on it could win in New York's 14th, to AOC boasting of voting for a debt relief package for Ukraine, to the endings of the movies Failsafe and Dr. Strangelove. And the conservative news and views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to oursilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and to AOC's full-length video. Remember to cue it to 49 minutes. The Liberty Bugle video with the open captions of what those guys were scouting, and to my earlier video about Tulsi Gabbard saying why she's leaving the Democratic Party. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding to let the truth set you free. Now, wait, you thought I was going to do a little Vera Lynn singing "Will You Meet Again"? No, can't do that. Got to respect copyright. But go find it for yourselves. Priceless.